was a fantastic night in Sacramento for the New York Yankees on Friday, and we're going to break it all down. And this one is going to be, as most of the post-game shows are, pretty recap heavy, but we'll probably get into a little bit more of the granular details of this game because obviously it was a very, very late start time. 10 p.m. start time on the East Coast. The game ends about 12:49 a.m. Eastern time. So I would venture to guess that even though it was a Friday night, that maybe parts of this game you lost out to sleep. Maybe you were out doing something else enjoying your Friday night. And we're all going to catch up here on Saturday morning with the Bombers Beat podcast. And really, there are a couple different tentpole stories of the game for the Yankees. The first one is the absolutely fantastic start from Will Warren. Clearly his best start of the season. His final line reads 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and 7 strikeouts. And that earned run came, he ended up starting the 8th inning, allowed a couple base runners. They relieve him with Mark Leiter. Leiter gives up a hit that ends up allowing one of those runs to score. But Warren was sensational in this game. He had a couple different times, in that game, particularly in the 4th inning, where he kind of worked himself into trouble. And if you kind of think back to some of his previous starts, he has shown flashes where he's had some dominant innings and then an inning where things really go off the rails. And I was kind of holding my breath a little bit in that 4th inning, thinking that was going to be one of those off-the-rail type of innings, and it wasn't. He got through it. He had more control than at any point, and not just, obviously, you see one walk and think, yeah, he had good control, but just in general where he was placing his pitches all night, hitting the corners on his fastball and his breaking balls, this was the best he's looked. This is the night where his stuff and his command both merged together to kind of give the Yankees and Will Warren a best-case scenario as he absolutely shut down the Athletics. And the other Yankee that we absolutely have to talk about is Jasson Dominguez, the Martian. Hits 3 home runs in this game, homers from both sides of the plate, and also hits a grand slam that, this game was pretty much out of reach anyway, but it really put the game out of reach. The Yankees take advantage of what has become a very strong hitter's ballpark, and they hit 4 home runs in this game, 3 from Jasson Dominguez, but Paul Goldschmidt got things started in the 3rd. Goldschmidt and Dominguez went back-to-back. Dominguez also had a sacrifice fly in the 5th. He hit a home run right-handed against a left-handed pitcher in the 7th inning, and then hits the grand slam left-handed. Ends up having 7 runs batted in on the day. He's the youngest Yankee to hit 3 home runs in a game. The youngest Yankee to hit a home run. The first Yankee to hit a home run from both sides of the plate since Neil Walker 7 years ago. So really this was the quintessential game for the Martian. And it was coming at a good time. I think they're in the last few days or so, particularly with him being out of the lineup a couple days ago, even though they were starting a right-hander, the Padres were, I should say, there were starting to kind of be some rumblings from some sections of the Yankees fan base about being worried about Jasson Dominguez using the dreaded B word that gets labeled with young guys. There was some random, potentially anonymous ex-scout on X. I don't know why people just believe all these accounts that say that don't have a name, don't have any background, but people just, they put anonymous MLB scout or whatever as their Twitter handle, and all of a sudden people believe them. But regardless, there was a conversation being had in regards to who was going to, if Jasson Dominguez was actually going to live up to the hype. And obviously one game doesn't change, anything long term, but it was very nice to see Jasson Dominguez have such a dominant game from the plate in the facet that he did. Aaron Judge doubled in this game. You got the 2 hits, including the home run from Goldschmidt. Two hits from Ben Rice, who also got to make his second appearance of the season behind the plate in the ninth inning. He caught Yerry De Los Santos in the ninth inning. So this is the second inning of work that Ben Rice has gotten behind the plate this year. So, again, as you start to look forward and you start to think about a time when, maybe all these players are healthy, Goldschmidt's healthy, Giancarlo Stanton comes back into the lineup, you start to look for different ways you can get Ben Rice in the lineup. And again, we haven't seen him play a full game at catcher in a while, but we'll be interested to see if he can, he's getting these opportunities. He's kind of keeping up with it a little bit because of the unique structure of the A's stadium in Sacramento, where, the clubhouse and all these other things are in the far left center field wall. It was actually Ben Rice that was coming out between innings to warm up at catcher with Will Warren. So the Yankees are going to just see what they have there and potentially give them that opportunity. But really, this game was, a real strong start after the off day. Like I said, the Yankees got off to, a fairly strong start. But, this was really up and really until that 5-run eighth inning, which included the grand slam from Jasson Dominguez. This was the Will Warren show. You have the back-to-back home runs in the third with Goldschmidt and Dominguez, obviously. And then by the time you got, through 7 innings, it was 5-0 at that point. But and Dominguez had already homered twice. But it really was the Will Warren show. But obviously, Jasson Dominguez coming up, hitting a third home run, hitting a grand slam to boot. He's going to be talked about a lot, and obviously deserves to be, given, some of the content that has been talked about around him so far to start the season. But, now he's back up to batting .250. He's over an 800 OPS again. So really, really encouraging, and a start that Jasson Dominguez can build off of. And again, not that you ever will complain about a 3-home run game, but I think it's a little bit of an extra juice that he got one right-handed. And he clobbered it right-handed as well. Because obviously his left hand, batting left-handed versus batting right-handed has been a massive issue and a massive split difference, both not only this year but also throughout his minor league career. So seeing that is obviously incredibly encouraging for him, and something that I hope that they can build off of in this game, from this game going forward. But really a fun night to be a Yankees fan. You got to see, a big hits from Rice, Judge, Goldschmidt. You got to see the best game of Jasson Dominguez's career, and you got to see the best game of Will Warren's career so far. And I think that's what's really exciting. 2 young guys that the Yankees are going to rely on not only this season but moving forward. And for Warren in particular, this is a player that I've talked about I kind of felt like was a year away, and this is, in a way, this is what I was envisioning in terms of the stuff has been good. It's the consistent execution and is the command of the stuff that has been an issue. And we saw it get married together on Friday night, as I mentioned earlier. And that performance, if you didn't have a chance to go watch, a lot of times like MLB.com or MLB TV have like a condensed game. They break it down into like 8 to 12 minutes, or just kind of go watch some highlights. Because if you've been wondering why the Yankees have stuck with Will Warren through the first 6 weeks of the season, if you're wondering what Will Warren's potential future and potential upside in the Yankees rotation can be, this game was the flash. This game was the vision that Cashman and Boone saw and see in Will Warren. So obviously I'm a huge Jasson Dominguez fan. I love that he got 3 home runs, and I love that he's going to be the story of this game. But I do not want Will Warren to get lost in the shuffle because of that late grand slam, because this was an unbelievably encouraging start for him. That doesn't mean he's necessarily, quote unquote, turned the corner and now every start's going to be great from here on out. I'm not saying that. But this was the, like, sometimes you just need to see the flash of what the upside can truly be. And maybe that's probably, now that I think about it, the story of this game from Friday night was the upside of what the young guys can truly be. We saw some good plays. We saw some good at-bats from Jorbit Vivas. We saw Jasson Dominguez have the best game of his life. We saw Will Warren have the best game of his life. And you sit back and you think and you go, this is what the vision is. This is what the future can be. And that is so darn impressive. And oh, by the way, you win 10-2. You win your third in a row. And you're feeling really good about yourself heading into a day game. It is still technically a day game. It's really a day game there. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a 4 or 5 start time on the East Coast, which really it's a 1 p.m. local time. So it is a traditional day game out there. Carlos Rodon, who is going to continue to see if he can continue the stretch that he has been on, and he has been absolutely unbelievable over the last 3 weeks or so. Against J.P. Sears, who's off to a pretty solid start to the season as well. We still do not have a starter for the Yankees named yet. Actually, I have to double check on this. I'm not even sure that's actually accurate. Hold on, because I'm actually seeing one of these two games the Yankees have not named a starter for. Like, let me double check and see, because I'm not sure that that's right, because I see Carlos Rodon listed as probable for both games. I don't think that's likely to happen. Yeah, so Rodon is going to start on Saturday. We don't have, that's what I thought. We do not have a starter for available yet to be named for the Yankees on Sunday, the series finale against former friend Luis Severino, who will start that game. I wonder if that'll end up being Ryan Yarbrough again, making his second start of the season, with Cookie Carrasco getting DFA'd and outrighted out to AAA. I do wonder. They can go a number of directions here, but considering how little they had to use the bullpen on Friday night, we'll see how well Rodon, or how deep Rodon goes into the game on Saturday afternoon. I would not be shocked if they go with Ryan Yarbrough here on Sunday. But we'll see what Aaron Boone wants to do, and we'll see when we get that information. But in the meantime, what a game, what a start to the series. And I for a number of different reasons, between the way the grass plays, between obviously not having an upper deck, between the warm weather, I can see why there's a lot of runs being scored in Sacramento right now. And I think the Yankees are going to continue this run barrage for the rest of the weekend. And we'll have it all here on Bombers Beat Podcast to break it down.